This show is important. Now you might say, well, if it's so important, why would they only give you 8 episodes? Well, that's a good question. It's a really good question. Why do I only have 8 episodes? Doesn't matter. Tonight we're talking about immigration. The whole country is loaded with immigrants, as we know. But no matter what you think, if they should be here or not, you have to admit they're hard workers, the hardest workers in the country. You go to the Korean deli, you got the 40-year-old guy stocking the shelves while the 8-year-old kid works the register, you know? Meanwhile, there's 3 Mexicans outside guarding 11 bruised peaches, you know? And they got the 102-year-old grandfather sitting on a crate at 3 o'clock in the morning picking snow peas in 10-degree weather. His first 80 years was like he spent in idyllic Sukong Delta. The last 2 years on Earth, he's like wrestling a pack of sour cream and onion potato chips out of some kid's North Face. Well, immigration. Give us your tired, your poor, but leave the guy with the ticking Koran back in Saudi Arabia, please. I don't like the fact that every minority piggybacks on the black experience of racism either. People come here from all over the world to get here, jobs, whatever. Fine. But then they call America racist because one hillbilly community leader dares to question their presence. Hey, we even let Russell Crowe run around punching our American citizens in the face and we give him awards for it. And realistically, people say close the borders. You can't close the borders. What are you going to do, build a wall? Even if you built a wall, the work would be so hard, we have to get a bunch of Mexicans to come over here and do it. Oh, people don't do that kind of work. Now listen, stop all immigration from now. That's the question there. Jim, before I start, may I say, sadly, that is probably your nicest sweater, isn't it? Yes. Okay. You actually got up today and you looked in the mirror and you said, yeah, this is the one for tonight. That's really miserable. But what do you think? Should we stop all immigration for now, Jim?
Well, dressed like Alex Rieger, yes, I think we should. Yeah, you got to stop immigration, and there is a way to do it. It's pretty simple. All you got to do is put up a bunch of landmines around the border and have it patrolled by coyotes with AIDS.
Oh, there's a way. He's not saying it's the most sympathetic way. Anybody else want to say
I'd like to tie that AIDS thing does have something to do with immigration. Did you see the Haitians jumping off the boat in Miami?
Oh, yes. If you
1 in 7 Haitians has AIDS. Even the sharks weren't biting these people. One guy got bit, and like the shark died before he did. Oh, look.
All right. What about Middle Easterners? Is it racist to not worry about anyone coming over except Middle Easterners? Is it racist to single them out as not getting, issued visas?
Only single out the people from countries that end the word "stan."
It's not a bad idea. Look, I'm from Texas, and we have an immigration problem, but then we have no problem getting our grass cut, our dishes washed, or our oil changed. So it's not a bad thing.
Well, what about that? What about the fact that these immigrants do a lot of American jobs? Anybody?
Who was doing it before they got here? Americans.
We were as the immigrants. We were the original immigrants, all of us.
Okay, so they got to put their time in.
Yeah. No, I agree, but now the problem with that is kind of when we were the immigrants, we came over and we had it tough. Well, you had like a 3-week boat ride and then like weeded out all the weaklings so only the strong survive.
Yeah.
Now, like you take a 3-hour plane ride, you're here in the country, so you don't even work for it.
It's not even racist, though. It's not racist. It's something you don't want people coming here. It's just like it's Middle Eastern men. Nobody minds big-titted models from Sweden showing up.
Well, Janeane, you're understandably in shock at this point. You like to talk about, bilingual. Let's talk about bilinguality. A lot of people get mad at bilinguality.
Is there such a word as bilinguality?
Oh, no. I was hoping you wouldn't call me on that. Damn it, Janeane. No, he's not. Bilingual. Whatever.
Bilingual.
I have the same problem with trying to say Christina Aguilera. And I do try to say that.
Well, actually, I don't know why so many people get so upset with the possibility that there's a more than one language in this country, especially when Americans expect that when they travel abroad that everyone's going to speak American, and if they don't, somehow the American traveler English somehow that the American traveler somehow put off by that. I don't think it's a bad thing to have a multilingual culture.
You know why it's a bad thing? Because I can't go into Dwayne Reed and get a pack of gum in under 20 minutes. It's not a bad thing.
The voice of reason, Mr. Paolo.
I think it's bad if we try to make it, mandatory. I think that's a bad thing. But no, the different languages, the more people know, no, it's beautiful. And you go to Montreal, they know the guy picking up garbage knows English and French. So you feel like an idiot. You're like going, wow, you pick up garbage and you know 2 languages? Hell, I know one and I butcher it.
It seems to be only Americans that have a problem with being multilingual, whereas other countries.
That's because in our country we have 1,000 different cultures.
But I don't
We have
think it's a
1,000
problem.
different languages. It's not a problem in France. Deodorant's a problem, but the language. I know that was hacky, but I was on the spot. I got a camera on it.
Well, what about this question that'll probably bring this to a horrible screeching halt?
I thought I did that.
What if we do monitor? How would you monitor immigration? Isn't it really just like the government's like, look, we pretend everyone's or roust up some Mexicans, put it on the front page of the paper and say, hey, INS is working. You can't stop immigration. You can't monitor people coming in. Nobody can. It's not only is it out of control, there's nothing you can do. All right, that's not a question. Don't you think the government just pretends there's something you can do and really people sit around arguing about this, but there's really no answer?
Why is there no answer? Put the
Because you
military.
can't.
Why not?
Because
It's not that
It's
tough.
too big. It's the borders are too
Please.
big. It's impossible.
It isn't. It isn't.
Okay, we'll be right back. We're going to talk about sexual harassment. If you hold on. I don't know if Janeane will stay, but we're hoping she'll stay, so we're going to have to hold her down. So that she can't. Well, we all know stories about sexual harassment in the workplace, yes? It's late at night, you're sitting there. The hell was that? It's late at night, you're sitting there, the boss comes over, he's breathing alcohol and cigarette breath onto your neck and whispering, I'll give you a weekend update if you do it. All right, I'll do it. Yeah. Sorry, I blacked out for a minute. Seriously though, a lot of women are placed in uncomfortable situations, and even some guys. So the point is, what is the climate? Is the only answer to ban flirting and joking in the office?
No, because the guy's not going to show up for work. I mean, why is a guy who's been married 20 years, 3 kids, what do you think? You think he wants to go to the tire factory? I mean, he's here he wants to see the secretary with the nice tits, seriously.
He's right. True, but bleak. Everybody's too sensitive.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to spread good cheer, but
No. He's absolutely right. Everybody is too, you can't even, little innocuous things without taken as offensive and vicious. Where, as a male, if you see a female coworker and she has a nice hot outfit, and you go, hey, so that's nice camel toe. All of a sudden, you're a bad guy.
Well, but see, for an example, that was inappropriate here. But where is some things, if you go to somebody at Mardi Gras, show me your tits, everyone thinks that's okay. But if you say it's like Katie Couric on the Today Show, it's inappropriate. So does it matter where you work for these things?
well,
That's
who
my other
wants to see
question.
her tits in the first place? Look.
Yeah. Now look, Chris Rock is famous for the routine that. You wish he was here now doing it, Mac.
Come on out, Chris.
Chris Rock did the routine about sexual harassment. He said if Clarence Thomas looked like Denzel Washington, they wouldn't even call it sexual harassment because it's only ugly guys. If he looked like Denzel, he'd go, hey, I put a pubic hair in your coke, and she'd be like, oh, Clarence, you're so nasty, and start laughing. Now, Janeane, do you feel that there's a certain amount of truth to looks affecting how people feel they're treated sexually?
Probably, but it goes both ways. Both genders would be guilty of responding to that. But you know where there's another level if I introduce this to the dialogue or debate here of this debate of sexual harassment. I feel I'm being sexually harassed by HBO. I cannot take any more of their supposed documentaries, which are these exploit. Like last night was Cat House, G-String Divas, Real Sex, documentaries that they are harassing me. You know what I mean? I feel like that they keep foisting the sex trade upon the audience and making it look like tons of fun. You know what I mean? Isn't this exciting?
Under the guise of being,
And they're pretending it's a documentary, so I feel like I'm being sexually harassed by HBO.
Yeah, well, even the hookers at the point thing. I mean, those things.
That's the only one that borders on showing you how bleak a lifestyle it can
That's what I'm saying. That's the only one I like too. The other ones. It's terrible. I agree with Janeane. You guys are pigs. Now listen. Janeane, you are the woman, but have you ever been sexually harassed other than by the HBO people?
No,
Guess we
I
can see
haven't.
your special this year. Now listen.
I like on the news when they always introduce it as sexual harassment. When they call it that, because I guess harassment, I guess is too much like harass. So it's like, oh, so the news guy, harassment.
Is that where that came from?
It has to be.
I believe it.
That looks like a shot.
No, it wasn't a shot. I was just asking.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like a shot. I'm just telling you.
Maybe it was a shot and I didn't know it.
But it's true. They say if like women say if it's an ugly guy, it's a harassment, right? Or
Right.
It's a good-looking
Do
guy.
they?
So she's saying the same thing with
Oh, no, it works.
But actually, it works both ways.
It does work both ways.
Yeah.
But who would you rather have your ass grabbed by? Cameron Diaz or Cameron Manheim? You know what I mean?
But it's the same thing. You're right. Janine's right. It does go both ways. It's like I'm a hypocrite when I complain about that because I treat better-looking women differently. If I hook up with a nice girl, I walk her downstairs, I get her a cab. If
Give her
she's
50
fat,
bucks.
Yeah, I'll pay her. If she's fat, if she's fat, I yell fire and then close the door after she runs out.
See, there's a method to his madness. All right, well, that is the segment. I don't care if it's short. I don't really give a damn. We'll come back with something else. Let's face it, folks, there's also different standards among different cultures. Janine, for example, I've actually seen girls get like mauled by guys, and I go, what's up with that? She said, no, he's from Italy. He's from Europe. You know, like that's okay because he's from Europe. Hey, I'm from Brooklyn. Can I grab your tit? You know what I mean? Don't you think that different cultures allow, women would be more allowing of a guy from Italy to touch them than a guy from the show?
I guess I think it would
Nice
depend
show.
on the person. It's a case-by-case basis. I don't think there'd be a lot of women that would be comfortable with having, whether it be an Italian man or an English man, grabbing them or mauling them. If you're saying mauling, I don't think anybody's comfortable with that.
Even like an Afghani woman has not been touched.
Hey, these next 2 minutes of commercials, there it goes again. The show is really finished. These next 2 minutes of commercials should give you time to realize that we're doing a good thing. Thank you. After the scintillating conversation I just had with my panel of comedians over there, in this last segment, I thought it might be more interesting if I talked to a 7-year-old. Say hello to Christina Embry. Christina, hi. How are you?
It's Christiana Colin.
Okay, Christiana. And Christina, let me just ask you a couple of questions. What do you want for Christmas this year?
Clothes and baby doll clothes and stuff.
And is there something really special you want more than anything?
A horse.
Are you gonna buy your parents something this year?
Maybe.
Wasn't Christmas much more fun when you were younger? You didn't have other people to get gifts for? Don't you feel almost a sense of dread as December approaches now?
They're crazy.
Don't you think the fact we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior by knocking 25% off the George Foreman grill means that we've over-commercialized Christmas? Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe in Santa Claus?
No.
Is that because you're older now and you figured it out on your own, or because you were never gullible enough to believe such a person could exist in a world with hatred and death and despair? Speaking of which, why don't you tell me that story you were just telling me on the before we came on, when you used to live on 8th Avenue?
These guys were drunk and they kind of hurt another guy really bad and took all his money.
And you said it was gushing with blood? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. This is the kind of things our kids are exposed to. I think we're really opening up something here. Don't you think it's ironic that the place where our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was born, Bethlehem, is now the middle of where Jews and Arabs needlessly slaughter each other in the name of religion? Even though this is like TV and an audience, am I boring you? I know when I'm being bored. I know when I'm boring a woman. Don't worry about it. Well, you're part of Les Mis, right?
Yes.
And have you ever met Daryl Hammond? He's been there like 75 times. It's kind of scary. He's stalking your whole show. Well, being a Broadway star at your age, do you feel an obligation to give back to your community?
Yeah.
If I ever ask you to come on here again, are you going to tell your mother to make some excuse so you don't have to come? Well, you just do it for the money, right? You think I'm a mediocre talent because I was never in Les Mis and I can't sing, and because I am kind of a mediocre talent, don't you? You have no respect for me because I can't dance like all your little Broadway buddies. Have you ever heard of me before this show, like before you came that other time? Did you know who I was, kind of?
Kind of.
Do you know me from SNL?
What's that?
Oh, it's a show, Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
You saw me on there a couple of times? Well, people just told you I was on there, so you said, all right, I'll do this. So what happens? Your agent calls up you and your mom and goes, listen, this guy's got a show. We don't know if it's going to last or not. Well, now they do know, but we don't know if it's going to last. Why don't you go on there? It's a nice paycheck. Well, you know, you get like SAG minimum, whatever it is, after minimum, right? And then you said, I'll do it. I don't care. Is it that kind of jaded thing? Or was it more like, oh, my God, Colin Quinn. You know, like when I was a kid, if I saw somebody of my stature, I'd be very excited. You know, a Bruce Boxleitner. I don't know who it was. It was actually... But you seem nonplussed would be too polite for how you seem. You seem almost revolted by my very presence. Well, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and you can have these dogs if you want, or the M&Ms, or the table. You can have my job. I don't care. But thanks for coming on. I think we've really, you know, pulled the lid off the 8th Avenue beating. Folks, as much as I hate to admit it, if you turn the channel, it's going to really hurt my feelings. So please don't go anywhere. Oh, you may think I stunk in that last segment, but that's why I do the show for the kids. Now listen, one of the things I love about the Islamic culture is the issuing of the death warrant, the fatwa. You know, like Miss World almost got one, the woman that wrote about it, Salman Rushdie. They give over there, it's not that big of a deal. You get a death warrant like we should over here. Look at this, like in a parking ticket, you know? If you're a bad Muslim, you come running out of the pork store, they're like, sorry, I'm already writing it. I can't let it go. Now, this is a typical fatwa, an intercepted fatwa. And it's a Christina Aguilera, you know, because over there they think she's crazy. It's got like, you know, Harlot, Jezebel, Carson Daly, RCA Records, 7 Jeans, you know, all kinds of things. I issue a fatwa to the first person who ever heard somebody say, we're playing phone tag. Not the person that said it first. The person that heard them say it and then said, I'm going to start using that. And a fatwa to the person who said, don't go there, and the person who said back to them, I'm not even trying to hear that. And I'm glad you didn't laugh that much, because I'm seriously mad. T-Sean, who would you issue a fatwa to?
Well, I don't like issuing death to anyone, but the Catholic Church Bishops' Council that couldn't come to a zero tolerance policy against molesting altar boys? Where's the gray area in having sex with a 9-year-old? Is it like, oh, well, what was he wearing? Did he look 14?
No. Oh, I happen to like their new 3 strikes you're out policy. But listen, Nick, how about you?
I wrote mine down because when Italians, you know, we kill people, we never put it in writing. So in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and merciful, I hereby issue a fatwa against Samuel Hirsch, the attorney who was representing the fat teenagers who were suing McDonald's, for the crime of using these kids as pawns in an attempt to line his money-grubbing, filthy, rotten, greedy polyester pockets, and for reinforcing the stereotype that Jewish lawyers will do anything to turn a buck, even if it's on the backs of 14-year-old boys who look like Star Jones.
Miss Janeane, what's your fatwa against?
I would like to issue a non-violent fatwa against Lynn Cheney for her attempts to undermine free speech on college campuses across America.
Oh. James W. Norton. Is the new name W? Or I just make that up?
I would like to issue an extra violent fatwa
You ignored me.
against Rosie O'Donnell for the crimes of being a self-righteous, hypocritical, morbidly obese manatee with bad tattoos and no magazine. Every time I hear the term cutie patootie, I wonder what a hammer would look like buried in her Easter Island statue head. Well, folks, I'm not finished. For 6 years, you had us believing you were nice and housewifey, when deep down, all you really wanted was to lay back while Madonna left a slug trail on your face.
Well, I guess see, if you hadn't cut me off, you would have missed that one, folks. To Jim, well, it's too late. We have to get the hell out of here, unfortunately. Thank you all for the, get on the jihad bandwagon, folks, yourself, and go issue your own fatwas to people that you don't like. We'll see you tomorrow.